Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the session, everyone. And welcome back after Eid vacation. I hope everyone enjoyed their Eid holidays. In start of semester 3, we have discussed that we're going to launch as a Deanship of eLearning. There are series of lectures related to Blackboard Ultra. Right now, we are using Blackboard Original, that is called Blackboard Learn. But I hope that is in implementation phase, and from next semester, we do have upgraded version of Blackboard, that is Blackboard Ultra. In last session, we took a complete visit of interface for Blackboard Ultra, and we explored all of their functions. Like overview of all the functions. Now the time to take a start to in the deep breath, like with the all the tools which we have inside Blackboard Ultra. As you know, and as a faculty, you're using Blackboard Learn from last 3 years, and you know that it is packed with the powerful tool, and it is really helpful, especially during the pandemic. And the new version, upgraded version, is more stable and equipped with more powerful functions. One of the function is Safe Assign. Being an educationist or a teacher or a faculty or as a student, research is an important part for all kind of education sector. So while you're doing some kind of research or you're giving some kind of assignments, you're as a teacher, you're expecting to bring back the results as an original result from the students. So at that time, you do need some kind of powerful tools which can tell you that the student, your student is sending the work that belongs to him or her, or that doesn't belong to him or her. The reason behind nowadays, thanks to the internet, people have many opportunities to study anytime and anywhere. With easier access to an abundance of information without leaving their homes. However, while this has been a huge benefit to the e-learning industry, it also made it easier for learners to copy content they find online. As the students of all ages are expected to write a variety of academic papers, and their teachers are also expecting those papers to be unique and free of plagiarism. The reality is many students don't want to use a plagiarism checker because they believe that their research is original and don't need to prove anything. However, having plagiarism work can easily get them in serious trouble. So avoiding that trouble, being a teacher or as a student, we do have some kind of options. And before taking a start to learning about the Safe Assign, first we need to know about what is plagiarism. Because developing understanding with the plagiarism can bring the good results as a teacher and as a student as well. Plagiarism is presenting work or ideas from another source as you own, with or without consent of the original author, by incorporating it into your work without full acknowledgement. So in simple words, you can say you're going to bring some kind of work, you're copying data from the internet, or you're downloading some assignments from outside source, and you just copy and paste in your assignments or in your research, and there is no reference being given over there. You didn't put the quotation over there, so it means you are going to be caught as a plagiarism. So what kind of plagiarism can be so we need to understand first the types of plagiarism, then we are able to try to avoid all these kind of things. One thing I want to mention it over here, that try to be intact with me till end of the sessions. The reason behind this session is might possible not pretty long. The reason behind this session is more practical instead of the theory based thing. So we do have demo videos for you, and real environment where we will have to give you an example that how you can use all these type of software, especially Safe Assign, how you can use it inside Blackboard. So keep in touch with me till end of the session, so you would have an idea that how you can use this powerful tool in your assignments, and especially for the research. And another important part for the faculty, because nowadays research is really important for the faculty, and especially now it's mandatory inside Jazan University as well. So once you're doing research, you need to know about the plagiarism and how you can detect the plagiarism, and what kind of and what types of softwares available which can help you to bring back your original and unique information, and what kind of techniques and tips can be used. All these things being are going to be discussed in this presentation. So this presentation is especially, I believe, one of the best presentation, especially for the researcher. So if you are doing any kind of research, this is for you. So be intact and be like present with me, not only just logged in and just leave the session. If I'm gonna ask you any kind of information or question, you have to answer me. So in this way, I can share more knowledge with you, and by asking the questions and by getting the reply from your side, it means you are committing, and you are present inside the presentation. This will help you and you will get more knowledge. So let's have a look about the types of plagiarism. And there are different types of plagiarism, and all are serious violations of academic honesty. For example, direct plagiarism. This is first kind of plagiarism. Like direct plagiarism means is the word for word transcription of a section of someone else's work without attribution and without quotation marks. The deliberate plagiarism of someone else's work is unethical, academically dishonest, and grounds for disciplinary actions, including exclusions. And self-plagiarism. Self-plagiarism occurs when a student submits his or her own previous work, or mixes part of previous works without permissions from all professors who they are involved in this kind of assignments. For example, it would be unacceptable to incorporate part of the term paper you wrote in high school into a paper assignment in a college course. Self-plagiarism also applies to submitting the same piece of work for assignments in different classes without previous permissions from both professors. You're going to present the same work in the different classes. That is also committing the plagiarism. The third one is mosaic plagiarism. Mosaic plagiarism occurs when a student borrows phrases from a source without using quotation marks, or finds synonyms for the author's language while keeping to the same general structure and meaning of the original. Sometimes called patch writing, and this kind of paragraphing, or whether intentional or not, is academically dishonest and punishable. Even if you footnote your sources, even you are mentioning your sources, that is still dishonest and punishable. So you need to be careful with this kind of plagiarism as well. The last one is accidental plagiarism. Accidental plagiarism occurs when a person neglects to cite their sources, or misquotes their sources, or unintentionally paraphrases a source by using similar words, groups of words, or sentences structures without attribution. And students must learn how to cite their sources and to take careful and accurate notes when doing research. The reason behind lack of intent does, it does not absolve the students of responsibility for plagiarism. This kind of cases or cases of accidental plagiarism are taken as seriously as any other plagiarism, and are subject to the same range of consequences as other types of plagiarism. So you need to understand that what kind of plagiarism, that is forced, the direct plagiarism, self-plagiarism, mosaic plagiarism, or accidental plagiarism, any kind of plagiarism, you cannot avoid the dishonesty or punishment. The reason sometimes you can say that I have no idea this work belongs to someone else, because I believe this doesn't belong to anyone else, but that kind of accidental plagiarism, even then that is punishable. So you need to be very, very careful at the time of research or solving the assignments from the student sections. $1 million question that how to detect plagiarism and what plagiarism tools how they can detect it, and what kind of methods or what kind of algorithm being used over there. Normally, a plagiarism checker uses advanced databases software to scan for matches between your text and existing text. They're used by universities to scan students' assignments, and there are also commercial plagiarism checkers you can use to check your work before submitting. What kind of softwares do we have it which can detect the tools? Grammarly, though there are plenty of softwares available online, and you can go ahead with them. Some of them they're offering their basic version as a free version, but their advanced version with the more flexible tools and advanced options, you have to go and buy all these softwares. The first one we choose, that is Grammarly. The second one, Pro Writing Aid. And the third one is Dupli Checker. And the last but not least, that is Paper Rater. Let us discuss about one by one that how these softwares are important and how they can work behind the scene. Like once you are going to be use any of that softwares, how that can help you to avoid the plagiarism. Grammarly in San Francisco provides its grammar improvement and AI-driven writing assistance platform. And that is really important that nowadays from last, I believe 6 months, AI is getting, really getting inside the, in the market. Now, artificial intelligence tools and GPT, especially once that been introduced, it is writing for you the essay, applications, even whatever you want, they can write for you. But I believe in coming days, the chat GPT is getting more popular, but you need to understand that once you are using the chat GPT, that can also detect the information from definitely from the internet, and you need to avoid the plagiarism as well, because there are some tools available. If you're sending some kind of assignments or research to some specific department, and they can check whether it's been written by the chat GPT or you have written by yourself. In the following slides, I do have some kind of tips for you how you can avoid chat GPT plagiarism. So we have discussed about Grammarly, and you can say that it's available on free or paid premium and business plans. There are 3 different plans available for Grammarly. If you're gonna have it with the basic one, this can give you the grammar improvement options over there. And in the advanced and business version, you can have more tools and advanced options available. And the second one is Paper Rater. Paper Rater or paperrater.com is a proofreading and grammar checking writing tool available free online or via professional editions. Similarly, the basic version is free, but if you want to use the advanced version, you have to pay for that one. It was acquired and is now supported by Barnes and Noble Education, BNED, since August 2018. This is another good tool for your for kind of plagiarism checking or improving the English language. You can improve using this tool. All these tools can be used to improve your English language and plagiarism check as well. The next one is Pro Writing Aid. Pro Writing Aid is a smart writing assistant providing personalized advice on writing and plagiarism checks. From the company of the same name is Wheatley and will available. It can help you to write different kind of paragraphs and whatever you want. They can give you the advice as well as they can check the plagiarism. The last one is DupliChecker. DupliChecker or just duplichecker.com is a free plagiarism checker, and it is supported by the sites ads as well and SEO checks. For example, keyword density, for example, tool suits, and all these kind of information you can do ahead with this one. So I would suggest you have to go and check all these different softwares. First, you have to go and install their basic versions. And whatever the software you feel that is much more suitable for you, you can go ahead to purchase it. And I believe they're not offering too high prices, so anyone can afford it. Grammarly, I believe for the students, it was, I think, $5 or something like that related to monthly basis. And similarly, rest of the software, they are not very expensive, so you can try it, their advanced version as well. Safe Assign. This is our main tool, which we're going to discuss about in the Blackboard Ultra. That is free, available for all of you. No need to go and buy the advanced version for any kind of other softwares. If you are like Jazan University faculty and you're using Blackboard and you do have user ID and password for the Jazan University, you can use Safe Assign free of cost. Safe Assign is a plagiarism prevention tool that detects unoriginal content in students' papers by identifying areas of overlap between submitted assignments and existing works. I would like to clear over here that this is basically designed for the assignments for the students specifically, but the teachers can use with the research as well, because this doesn't, it work for the similarly for the assignments and for the research as well. Here we do have Blackboard, now part of Anthology, as we have discussed already in last sessions, that now is a part of Anthology. This is the new company, and they take over it, and they are well renowned in the education sector. And Blackboard Safe Assign, this is as I discussed, that a plagiarism prevention tool, and it empowers student success with a powerful and effective tool for promoting academic integrity and evaluating originality. So now let's have live demo of Blackboard Safe Assign. That how does it work? I do have prepared one video for you guys to preventing any kind of distraction during the live session. Sometimes it happens that you are applying some live tools, but it didn't work, some kind of network issues or something like that. So I have recorded this video. I'm gonna share with you, and I'm gonna discuss each and every part by myself, but I'm gonna take a start with this short video, but you have to be in touch with me. So we can raise some kind of questions in the end of the video.
Hey everyone, this video is going to walk you through using Safe Assign and what it looks like on the other end once students submit a Safe Assign assignment.
It's pretty simple. I would like to add one comment over here that you interface of the Blackboard Ultra and the Blackboard Original is similar. Once you log in, you can find out your desktop over there. You do have your courses. You just need to log in and select your course where you want to submit the assignment for the students, and you can follow all the instructions one by one.
So I'm going to come into my Blackboard class, and I'm going to go into the folder where I have it. And I've already created an assignment, and I've already done one submission, but I'm going to show you how a student would submit as well. All right, so I created this assignment. So I went up to
You can find out over here, this means already created one assignment. If you want to create the new assignment, you simply click on assignments and you can go ahead with the assignment and follow all the steps. You already know because all the faculty is using this system from last 3 to 4 years. So no need to go in detail that how you can create assignments. But once you are creating the assignments, at that time, we have discussed that how you can use a safe assign option for the plagiarism checking for your students.
Assessments, and I selected assignment. And so I'll just show you the options I selected in order to turn on the safe assign option. So I gave the assignment a title. You can put directions.
You can find out at the time of preparing the assignment, or you have done, like you already created the assignment, and we are going to make the edit. Once you click on the edit button, you can have all the tools in front of you, and by putting their name for the assignment and description and instructions, you can follow step by step.
Here or anything that you want to for the students to access. You can also put files here, like if you had a rubric you wanted to attach or anything else, you can pop that in here as well. I did not put a due date on this one because I didn't want it to populate to the calendar. I had to add a point value because it's asterisk, so you needed to have that in order to submit later. I did multiple attempts just in case a student maybe accidentally uploaded one and then wanted to change it and then upload again. So instead of having to deal with back-end stuff there, I always use multiple attempts, but you can do a single attempt if you want. And then down here is what we're looking at. So
look at this one. Once you are preparing all the options in the properties of the assignment, once you have done by selecting number of attempts, you can have multiple attempts, you can have single attempt or 2 attempts, whatever the attempts you want to select, you can go ahead with this one. The next option is score attempts using last graded attempt. If you want to have the grading for this one, you can select it. The most important part and the option for next is plagiarism tool. That is check submissions for plagiarism using safe assign. You need to click on this checkbox. You need to enable this checkbox. And the second option that is available on the bottom, you can see allow students to view safe assign originality report for their attempts. You have to check this one at least once they submitted. They can have the report that their assignment is original or it is plagiarized or they have copied from some other information. The last one is exclude submissions from the institutional and global references databases. That is detail also available. First, you have to look first 2 options that how they work.
Plagiarism tools. So if you want safe assign to be turned on, you want to check this box. And if you want the students to be able to see their safe assign originality report when they're done so that they can look at what they have been plagiarizing or maybe not plagiarizing if they've done a good job, it might be nice for them to see that and see what you see. I did not check the box here for exclude submissions from the institutional and global references database. What the global database is basically Blackboard at any institution, a paper that's submitted by a student. They keep that in their database, and so this way it prevents sharing of papers from class to class or institution to institution.
You can find our global references database. This is basically a global references database, is a separate database where students voluntarily donate copies of their papers to help promote originality. So this database is separated from each institution's internal database where all papers are stored by each corresponding institutions. So if you want to select this one, it means, like students can have the options. Like you are going to exclude means that all the assignments being uploaded in this database that can be excluded from the plagiarism. So normally it is, like normally we do not check this box.
And they also have the institutional document archive, so contains all papers submitted to safe assign by users at North Allegheny. I made the assignment available so students can access it, and then I selected submit.
So once you're done, you just simply click on submit.
All right, now to turn in, what a student would do just like any.
So now we are in the student preview. You can see that students can see all their content, which you already been, our teacher already been enabled to share with the students. And here they can find their assignment as well.
Anything else, they would access the assignment. And just like any other submission, they're going to browse their local files and they're going to go find it. So whether they're on an iPad or their laptop, they still have to browse their local files. Here's the thing. SafeAssign only accepts certain file types. So if you had them write it in a Google Drive or a Google Doc, they need to download it as a PDF. And so once they download it as a PDF, if they're on their iPad, they can put it in their Files app, and then they can find it via the Files app. If they're on their laptop, they can put it in their downloads or on their desktop or a folder, they'll be able to find it. So I just want to point out this piece again. The students can volunteer to submit their papers to that global reference database that we discussed earlier. So that's up to you if you want to make them do this, but this is a voluntary basis by students when they submit. So I'm going to actually.
We already discussed about the global references databases. So right now we are in the student preview. You can teach the students that if they are willing to submit their papers to the global reference databases, they can check over here. It's up to them. If they want to check this one, want to send their work for the global reference databases, they can check this one. Otherwise, they can go ahead without this
one. Find my file here. I'm going to attach it and I'm going to click submit. And so it will report in progress. So as a student, I can wait for this to upload and get that report. If I don't want to wait, as a student, that's okay. I'm going to show you from the teacher end what that looks like. All right, so everybody has submitted. I've had 2 assignments submitted. I showed you one, and I have another one previously submitted. So I'm going to go into my grade center.
You simply turn back to the teacher's preview, and if you want to check the assignments plagiarism, you simply go ahead into your grade center, and then you can move on to the assignments, and then you can check that how it is working.
And I'm going to scroll over to my narrative writing assignment. And as you can see, I have submitted something. So I can click the drop.
For example, we do have a couple of assignments available in our grade center. So let's have a look at how you can go ahead and attempt with this one.
Down next to it and select attempt or grade attempt. And as you can see, it shows me that I'm viewing 1 of 2 gradable items. So like I said before, I've had 2 submissions. So it shows me the paper here. And right here is the SafeAssign. I have a 0% overall match, which that.
You can find out on the right side that there is only SafeAssign boxes available on the bottom, and it is showing there is 0%. It means there is no plagiarism detected over there, and this all work being done as a original work.
Is good. The closer to 0 you get, the better. So I hit that drop down next to SafeAssign, and I'm able to view this originality report. So even though it says 0%, you may want to still view it. And it brings open a new screen. And so a short summary here, I can click that and it tells me this is low risk, that this paper may contain a few common words or phrases, but overall they're not seeing a match anywhere. So that is good news for this student. So now I'm going to go to the next student.
So here is second students, which we're going to check about their assignments, and you can find out safely, SafeAssign to have 86% overall matches. And now you can see that what kind of results and summary you can have in your grade center, which can tell you that what kind of plagiarism and where do that plagiarism or data being copied from the internet and which sites even.
As you can see right off the bat, I see this student has an 86% overall match. That is bad. The closer you get to 100, that is not good. You know that they have sampled from around the internet. So if I click that drop down next to SafeAssign again, I get this little drop down area and I can view the originality report. And so right away, I can get a report summary. that it tells me this is a very high risk paper. Yes, 86% match within the paper. So it looks like that they have paraphrased and quoted in excess and need to be reviewed for plagiarism. So what's really nice about this report is that it tells me from the global database, it shows me that it has sampled 2 papers and 2 student papers. So that's why sometimes that global database is nice. And then from the internet, what's really nice here is that it'll tell me the website that it got it from. And it's even color coded over here. So I can see like number 1 is right here. So for example, this number 7, let's say this now novel, I know that that is that one right there. And I can actually open the source where it came from. And it takes me right to the website where it came from. So that's just a really nice feature.
So this safe assign give you a very pretty very detailed answer and a report for plagiarism, and even you can open the source where this data has been copied from the internet, so you can easily track down all the information that on which location and which website being used to copy this data, and pretty easy.
You're able to access where exactly they got it from on the internet. With the global database, yes, we know it's from a student paper, but it doesn't give me an option to pull up which student. So Safe Assign is a nice feature. Of course, if you're having people cite sources, it will pull those sources up, but you'll know that those are cited sources and they're using them correctly rather than plagiarizing and trying to pass them off as their own. I hope this helps you as you're grading some writing assignments and some other things that where students are researching and pulling in from the internet.
I hope this is really easy to understand for all of you, that how you can use the Safe Assign. Before moving ahead on next slide, that I have a question for all you guys. If you are connected with me, how many plagiarism types we do have it? Do anyone have an idea? Can you answer me in 1 minute in the text box, in the chat box? I'm waiting for your answer, please. We have 1 minute to answer for this one, that how many types of plagiarism do we have to understand? What type of plagiarism we can encounter in our research? Or can you please write it down, the name for that one? Okay, self-plagiarism, I write. Accidental. There's 2 more. Direct plagiarism, 1 more. Okay, tell me, what does it mean by accidental plagiarism? Can someone explain in 1 sentence? What is accidental plagiarism? Just explain in single sentence. Okay. Is it punishable or no? Because you didn't do it intentionally. You're responsible for that one or no? Okay, it is not deliberately. My question is, for example, you have done unintentionally. Is it punishable or no? You're responsible for that one? Yes, that's great. That answer is correct, that even then it's accidental and it's unintentionally you have done over there, but even then you're responsible for all of your act inside research. So this is your responsibility that you have to check. This is even accidentally you are going to do something that is unethical academically and punishable, and you need to exclude at the end. And somehow there are more punishments available for this one. They can make you blacklisted or something. For example, you have done some kind of research, you sending in the journal, and you committed with the, I mean, like any kind of plagiarism, they can blacklisted you. So you need to be careful with all kind of actions you're not done over there. So let's move ahead. A very good question over here: how to avoid plagiarism detection? That what kind of options and what kind of we do have like tips and tricks to avoid the students. You can how you can teach your students that they can avoid plagiarism detection over there. Sometimes students put a lot of creativity into cheating on a paper. Very interesting. By exposing students who choose to cheat, educators can help them improve and guide their potential in the right direction. Most often, learners who are not willing to work on an original paper and put their own thoughts into words turn to text modification. Modern instructors have to look out for many types of cheating and be able to detect different types of plagiarism in student work. Let's take like text modifications. For example, while they might seem different, text modifications are still a form of plagiarism. Just in September 29, that is, I mean, like detected 7% of the text modifications. So you can be committed by a text modification that is also a punishable, I mean, unethical way. So you need to be careful over there, because the students are putting too much their energies to cheat the faculty or the, I mean, like supervisor or the teacher. So you need to be very smart to detect that what they are going to be doing. So what is a digital modification? Digital text modification is a collective notion for how students plagiarize someone else's work with the help of technology. Like nowadays, I have just discussed about the AI GPT that you're going to do some cheat. You don't need to write a complete essay. You just need to ask the chat GPT, and he or she can write for you in a second for all the things. So you need to understand that how they're using the plagiarism you can avoid by using the technology. So students turning to digital text modification believe that their professors don't know all the technological tricks of altering text and will thus not be able to identify the culprits. However, an advanced plagiarism checker solutions can recognize numerous types of students cheating, even digital text modification. So in future, I believe digital text modification would be the biggest issue for all the faculty and teachers, that how you can have understanding, well, the understanding to that the student is cheating or that work does belongs to him. Digital text modification include different methods. Let's take, I mean, like a closer look at them, that what kind of digital text modifications can be done over there. There is I mean, like option available that how can I prevent plagiarism. The first way, you need to understand that written resources have become more easily available on the internet, and students may not have a clear understanding of what constitutes plagiarism is each of their courses. Before moving ahead about discussing digital text modification types, that first, there is a responsibility for the teachers to educate their students that what is plagiarism and how you can avoid by using the assignments or copying the data from the internet, and what kind of I mean, like the problems can be done for them. So first, making the understanding and developing the understanding about the plagiarism for the students. This is a responsibility for the teacher. So clearly define plagiarism for the students, that what is plagiarism and how they can avoid that one. Committing plagiarism, for example, they are going to commit, and what kind of, I mean, like we have already discussed about the direct plagiarism, and you're gonna do it the mosaic plagiarism and self plagiarism. So you need to develop the understanding for the students as well, that they need to know before going to solve the assignments by using the technology. And you can provide examples for proper citations, that for example you want to use someone else's work, that what is the ethical way to cite their work, and you need to give them some kind of examples, a proper citation examples, that how they can use it. And they can create original assignments by using all these tips and tricks. They can create the original assignments. So common ways students avoid plagiarism, they can use the making of references. So this is basically extension of digital text modification. We have just discussed in last slide that what kind of ways students can avoid plagiarism detection. The first one, making of references. The second one, insert void text. And for last one, format modification. Some students add non-existing or unrelated references to their paper instead of taking the time to search for the needed one. For example, a student writes an essay on Romeo and Juliet, and instead of quoting real citation, the work, they simply go ahead with the, I mean, like you can say fake references. So this can be a big problem for the teacher and for the student as well. Or state real references with the fake page numbers. A reference given by the student could be related to the topic, but not state or support the idea the student connects with the mean like references. So making up references, you need to make them understand, the students, that they have to put all the references in a sequence, and they must be connected from the information, and they must be cited over there. For example, they're writing some kind of essay over there, but they are putting the fake references. It doesn't work for the student as well. The next one is inserting white text. That is, sometimes student inserts unique white color text to mask plagiarism. This is another kind of unique technique which can help them to avoid the plagiarism. They add different characters and spaces in white so that the teacher does not see them. So a primitive plagiarism checkers will not be able to find them either. So sometimes this can happen. So you need to be very careful. Format modification, students who get creative in the wrong way sometimes present paper in the form of an image so that an instructor cannot run it through anti-plagiarism software. Students are very tricky, so teachers need to be more tricky with them. And instructions, a teacher can still read the paper and grade it, but they're unable to check it with any software. This is the reason why instructor or teachers specify what paper format they require. So format modification is, I mean, like the student can be very smart over here. Instead of sending you the text format or PDF format, they can send you the picture format. So that is not able to check by any kind of plagiarism tool. So before sending them the assignment, you have to create some kind of instructions that, okay, you have to go with this file extension. For example, the Blackboard, you can use it, PDF files or HTML pages you can send for the as assignment, but don't send as a picture or something like that. So you can avoid this kind of tricks from the students. Tools to avoid plagiarism. There are some kind of tools available. Right now, we are discussing about that how you can check the plagiarism, but definitely there are ways that even you have taken some work from the research from the internet and you want to modify, what kind of tools can give you an idea that how you can rephrase them in your context, and the actual meaning doesn't change over there. So any paraphrasing tool is a typical way to avoid plagiarism. It is also called an article rewriter and works by taking the content from the source and changing the word and phrases. The content produced still mean like the retains the idea and meaning of the source content. So there are multiple online softwares available. You can go ahead with them with the basic version that is free. But if you need a more advanced version with more advanced tool, you need to buy them. And what two like tools we have chosen over here, that is, one is Quillboard, one of the best um, rephrasing software, which can help you to rewrite your essay, and it can give you more option than anyone else. And the second one is Turnitin. This is also good one. This can help you not only the rewrite, but that can also check the plagiarism. But Turnitin normally used by the organization is not available for the individual ones, but Quillboard is available for the individual one. If you want to buy it, or you want, first you have to like, this is my suggestion, first you have to go and create your user ID and password on Quillboard and use the basic version. This can help you a lot. And on later stages, for example, you think that I need the advanced version, you can go ahead and buy that one. That is also not very expensive, very cheap, and it's affordable prices available. So first, how can I like avoid the plagiarism? Clearly define plagiarism, committing plagiarism, provide example of citations, create original assignments. I already discussed, like in a last slide, but we gonna have a little more, like lightening up on all these topics. So because writing tasks often feel the daunting the students, there is a temptations of the plagiarizing written work, and written resources have become more easily available on the internet, and students may not have a clear understanding of what type of plagiarism in each of their courses. So first, clearly define the plagiarism. This should be done from the teacher's side, that at the beginning of the semester in the syllabus and verbally give students a clear definition of what mean by the plagiarism and what is considered appropriate collaboration. And here you need to note that these definitions may differ from the faculty member to member, but the basic idea would remain the same. You can go ahead and tell them that especially important to make our expectations clear to students in each course we teach. So at the time of start of the semester, you need to be very clear, define a definition about the plagiarism once you are done all these verbally and in the syllabus. So students do have an idea that what kind of plagiarism can be done inside the assignments and how they can avoid over there. The second one is committing plagiarism. Your good ideas become better when you test them against other idea. For this course, feel free to discuss your ideas about the assignments with other students. However, using someone else's words, ideas, and concepts without citing your source is plagiarism. So, is presenting part or all of another student's work as you want. So this is in the world of writing, especially academic writing. This is a serious crime and is treated as such as a punishment. Anyone who commits plagiarism may receive a failing grade for the entire course and be referred to the appropriate dean's office for further disciplinary action. So you can tell your students that if you, this is the meaning and definition of the plagiarism, but even then, if you are going to commit that one, because the punishment and unethical appropriate way need to be punishable, you need to tell them that, for example, you're going to do it. So at that time, you can get fail and you will not get the gradings for whole the semester for this subjects, or you can send them in the dean's office for more disciplinary action. You can send it out from the classroom or something like that. So teacher need to develop the understanding for plagiarism. For example, if someone is going to commit, they can face the difficulty and problems inside the classrooms and inside the university or college as well. You can provide examples for citations, how you can do it, give students examples of how and when they should credit the work of others in their writing. This way, they will have concrete cases to which they can refer when question arises. So by giving them examples of citations, so if they've been asked the question that why you use this data from others, they can have the solid and concrete proofs and they can discuss in detail for that one. The last one is create original assignments. How you can create the original assignments. This is again the tricky for the teacher. And the more unusual an assignment, for example, taking a different perspective on a problem, question, or reading, the less likely students will be able to find something from the internet or their peers. So to submit as their own work, in addition, an assignments that has multiple parts may reduce the probability of plagiarism. So teacher can be tricky with assignments, instead giving them the neutral kind of assignments or the common problems assignments. They can choose the unique problems that can be unusual and might possible they would not be able to find out the data on the internet. So at that time they can make some discussion between the peers, but they cannot get the idea. They have to do it by their own idea. So this is one way. Another way, that instead giving one assignment, you can divide it into parts. So by putting in the parts assignments, that can also be avoided by the plagiarism from the student side. So that's all from the session. I hope you got an idea that what is plagiarism. We try to make this presentation in the sequence. First, I have discussed about the plagiarism. Then we discussed that types of plagiarism. Then we moved on the practical demo over there, that what is safe assign, how we can use it, and what kind of other softwares which are available for you to avoid the plagiarism. At the end, we have discussed that what kind of tricks being used to avoid the plagiarism and how you can educate the students over there. That's all from the session. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thanks for your time, and we do have a question. You're welcome. I'm here to answer you if you have any question, please.